Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the FinTech Friday show, which has devolved more into, or not devolved, more evolved into a broader tech show. That being said, we were just in the background talking about the broadcast of Matt Money on the White House official website that Bloomberg ended up reporting and everything. Roy, I guess, hadn't seen this in time, but the video stream appeared to show a YouTuber who describes himself as a shepherd of individual investors. And there's Matt Money. And our beautiful Steve here. You ended up making an appearance, brother.
I was on it?
Well, no. I mean, in the title. I don't know if you actually made it. Supposedly it's streamed for 8 minutes. That's what the
after I left. I can give you the very quick backstory if you want.
Yeah.
So I was live and Matt was in the chat. He was supposed to do Cash Flow Chronicles with Chris, but something happened and he wasn't sure if he was going to go live or not. And I said to him, I'm still around. If you want to send me a link, I'll come on. I ended my stream, went to his. I stayed for like 25 minutes. He wasn't even going to stream last night. And then he ended up streaming. I wake up this morning and my phone has got several messages about the Bloomberg article. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then we still don't know how this happened. Like, I've talked to Matt 3 times today. Yeah. We do not know how this happened.
Dude.
I was talking with Matt Money and I was like, so is there a third person on? Who else is listening into this call? Is there a little background check going on you right now? Making sure that I was like, have you been contacted by the government? But no, I'm sure they realized there's like some intern messed up and embedded the wrong link or something. And yeah, we got some fans of the shows in the White House. The Cash Flow Chronicles have made their way into the White House. And so I'm second order famous because Matt Money is my friend.
Yeah, that's amazing.
How cool is that? So let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to discuss today. Last year, around this time, I think it was a little bit later. I think it was probably a week later than this. We ended up giving the gift of stock to each other, along with Chris Hager, who was not a SoFi employee at the time. So we ended up passing around some stocks. I don't remember what everyone has. Tevis, if you have like a list of the names, maybe the performance as well, or we can just go around and say who we had and what we gave them.
Yeah, we can just open a blank sheet and just jot it down.
Yeah, I'll just throw this up. Is this fine? I gave you Joby, so year to date, we're up 72.5%.
Wait, where do you see that?
Right here.
Oh,
sorry, it might be a little small. I don't know how I can.
Yeah, okay. And Chris, Data Driven Investing, gave Transmedics, TMDX. I can't remember who he gave it to, but it's up 92%.
Did he give it to Steve?
I see 99 from mine. But
okay,
yeah,
we can. Or he might have given it to Tanner. I guess I don't know.
Nope. I was given hymns.
Yeah.
Was it Transmedics? He gave it to me.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you got Robinhood, right?
That was the year before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Robinhood was my number 2 pick. Should have went with it, but Hims is what I gave, and it was 41.1%. It looks like to Tanner.
Oh, Hims, yeah. If I've gotten the worst performer 2 years in a row, I'm going to crash out.
Oh no, that was me.
Oh, I know what you got.
And I was mad about it, if you remember, when I was giving it. I was also mad about it. Yeah, whatever.
This is Block. It's down 24%. Things happen.
That's the best thing is I feel justified in my hate for Block. Now, sadly, it's carried over to PayPal, But it'll be an exciting moment when I'm able to sell this for a $25, $30 loss at the first of the year.
Okay, hold on. Who
Save you
gave
some
you,
taxes.
who gave you block? Steve?
Steve. Now, he did give me a very nice gift the year before. So, but man.
Tevis, what was your gift and to who?
I gave Chris lemonade. And then what did you get, Tanner? What did Roy get you?
Hims.
Roy gave Tanner Hims.
I don't think Roy gave it to me.
I did, yeah.
Oh.
It's the only
Yeah,
one.
at the time, I think I was able to pick first, and Tevis, myself, and Chris all said we'd pick that one if it was available.
So it looks like Tevis took the win here.
Yeah.
You went from giving me Unity. By the way, Unity had a good year. So you were just, it's not even that you were wrong. You were just early. And then you picked for someone else Lemonade. Tevis, do you want to try again? Do you want to partner up again? We could try over.
You better pray that I don't get you this year. You better pray that.
I gave you something that's
No. You better pray that I don't get you this year.
I gave you something good, and you know what? My gift is already chosen. I don't care who. I know. I think 100% of you guys don't own it, and I own a lot of it, and you're gonna love it. You might hate it. Roy might be all right. Let's.
I think I know what it is, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
If it's not block, I'll be pretty happy. So.
Amit says hello. Good to see you, Amit.
Out in the chat.
Do we want to potentially randomize, see who gets who this year around?
No. I think you already randomized it before the stream. You mind sharing your ChatGPT window, Tanner?
Yeah, but do you want to keep? So I did end up going to ChatGPT and asking it, but it's a lot of the same of what we have already seen previously.
Can you go on the window so I can see who got who?
Yes. Tanner gets Steve. Steve gets Roy. Roy gets Tevis. Tevis gets Tanner.
Nice.
And this would be the third year in a row that Steve gives to me. So
I will do better.
That's why I want to
this year.
randomize it.
I will do better.
Well, I bought 100 shares of this stock just to give Tanner, and I don't intend on holding it for a week.
Oh, keep
No.
in mind.
You have to hold it throughout the year. You can't just break the rules.
I will absolutely hold 100 shares for you throughout the year.
Let's be very specific. The only rule is whatever you give, you have to actually own. You can't give something you do not own.
Oh, trust me, buddy. I own it.
Okay.
I unfortunately own it, and I bought it a couple of days ago in anticipation of this episode.
Okay, wait. Hold on a second. So you bought something to hurt me.
Just in case I got you.
And
With
I
friends
buy
like
only
this, you don't need enemies.
Okay, wait, careful. There better be another rule here. These can't be pink sheets. These have to have there's a minimum $1 billion market cap or something.
Now you want to make more rules.
Well, no, that I'm giving a very legitimate gift that is under $1 billion market cap, probably. So,
Yeah, where were you with this billion market cap when you gave freaking Joby?
Joby is a $14 billion company, Steve.
I don't believe you.
It's bigger than American Airlines.
I don't believe you.
Is it actually?
It's twice as big as American Airlines.
Don't even say that. That can't be true.
Wait. I promise you. Let's take a look.
Oh my God.
Joby. Oh no, not twice anymore. Not twice as big anymore. But 13 billion.
What the
American
hell
Airlines.
is wrong with people?
Seriously.
American Airlines 10 billion. So it's a
What
little
is
bit
wrong
bigger.
with people? This is why we can't have nice things.
Joby's still pre-revenue, right?
I think they've got tiny bits of revenue.
yeah, essentially pre-revenue, the accidental revenue.
I think they acquired Blade. Blade is slightly making
Honestly,
money.
though, to be fair to the Joby, I made fun of it at the time. It's done decently well for itself. That space, tons of competition. I wouldn't be an investor personally, but it's interesting. So, and I would have preferred it over Block.
Yeah, last time I did check though, it was double. Joby was 14 billion and American Airlines was like nearly 7. So they've jumped up a lot recently in the last like month, and Joby has kind of climbed down a little bit over the last month.
This rule that I have to own it really limits me because I've been trying to like cut down on my positions. I think Tanner and Steve are probably the
Give me something to like.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, no. Dude, I gave you something that way outperformed the S&P 500. Way outperformed the market.
Yeah, except I don't own it. I didn't
Yeah,
buy
because you broke the rules again. You're not allowed to sell it.
it. It was a meme.
Also, that's got to stop. Steve, you broke the rules. Tevis, you broke the rules. I've held on to Hims this entire time.
And I've held on the block and I've looked at it. Thankfully, it's in my SoFi account, so I don't look at it every day, but like at least every week. And I'm like, why?
It's $100, you greedy gentleman. I don't even like.
You want to get on with it?
$100.
Would you like to get on with it?
Let's do it. I think for entertainment's sake, we go in this order. I'll go first. I have a feeling Tevis's should go last. Steve?
Get my pad out so I know what I have to freaking buy.
Now, I know
Oh,
you
man.
probably have never heard of this company.
Steve's going to know me with Verizon. I know it. Please don't do Verizon to me.
Roy, do you want to tell them what I got him based on your own personal guess?
How'd you know I was giving you Verizon?
Because I'm like, okay, what's the one stock that Steve would want to force on me that I would hate having? Dan Schulman's company, Verizon, which I actually just looked at today, and I'm like, yeah, it's lost.
Guys, why are we screwing each other over with these? Like, why can't you just give like somebody gives Meta, the other person gives Amazon?
He's not trying to do this. He didn't know he was getting this.
Verizon's a great company. I own it.
It's the CEO. Oh man, why are you killing me with terrible, mediocre CEOs? Like year after year, except for Anthony Noto, you let me get SoFi 2 years ago, but man, and I can't get Steve back. Well, no, that's not even right because I got him Robinhood like the first.
He got you
what did that do to you, man?
2 years ago. He's essentially like 8x your money.
Had he held. And he could have been like, this thing's doing pretty good. Let me look into this. And then, been a billionaire by now.
Even hold
And
for the full
instead he
year
gives
for
me
Robinhood?
blocked. And it's going to be Verizon.
Did you hold Robinhood for a full year, Steve?
Don't shake your head. Yes, you didn't. You sold.
No, I exited it.
What is the point of this? If like
You didn't buy my gift.
I'm blaming myself too. But like
Tanner, what are you putting on me?
Do you have a guess, Roy?
On what you're giving to Steve. Is it NVIDIA?
No, it's got to be something that they don't own, right?
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Well, yeah.
you have to own it.
Or
They can
I don't want
own
it to be
it.
Shopify just because.
No. We clarified this last year. It's got to be something new to their portfolio, but we have to own it.
We never said new to the portfolio.
yeah.
New to the other person.
New
So
to
I
the
don't
other
want
person.
Verizon. It's fine.
Anyway,
Maybe-
not Shark Ninja. Unflappable Fogs got it right. D-Local is the name.
bad.
DLO. That's my pick for you.
The hell
Steve.
is D-Loco?
It's a payment service provider that operates out of Latin America. They're growing quite rapidly. The question is how they're attempting to pivot away from pure payment service
Latin
processing
American.
to other value-added services. It's in an area where it's harder to break in as far as competition, so they'll be fine for a while. But yeah, for a year, I think it's not probably bad. It's much better.
D-Loco. D-Loco. They're crazy. D-Local. You have to buy it.
It'll get
Okay.
bought on Monday.
You could buy it right now.
Yeah,
How
Steve,
can I buy it right now? The market's not open.
You got
Steve.
24-hour markets.
will it get bought on Monday, Steve? Just like you bought Nebius today? You
I
liar.
was in meetings today. I actually got nothing done today in the market.
Next up, Steve to Roy. I think we know the answer, though, unless he wants to change his mind.
I'm not going to give him Verizon.
Thank you.
QXO.
I'm going to give him something much better.
AT&T.
Oh no.
I do own that also.
Steve has every stock in the index, so he gets to just pick whatever he wants.
Now, Steve, you're trying to win this competition by giving the best performer over the next 12 months, not something that makes me re-up the $100 every single time.
All right. So in all seriousness, it was between two companies. Or one of them's an ETF, one of them's a company.
Company, then.
You want the company instead of the ETF?
Yeah, I don't think we should do ETFs.
Yeah, no ETFs.
QXO, Brad Jacobs.
Okay. Where is it at right now? 21. All right. Yep, I can do that.
Roy Tetevis.
So since it's a stock that we have to own, and my cash secure puts did not fill, that left me basically just one. Well, really, there's two options. I don't think you own VG, and so I was tempted, but I think VG is not really a next year play. What I do think is Air Test Systems, so ticker symbol AEHR. That is under $1 billion market cap, so it is a micro cap, and basically they have earnings that actually comes up fairly early. They don't do the same fiscal year, by the way, so that might throw you off. But I think in the second half of 2026, this is going to get a whole lot of attention. So it might be a slow starter, like some of our stocks were this year. But I think by the end of the year, you're going to be very happy owning this. So
That's a good name. I like that. But I don't have you as a partner, so.
Well, let me also say what it would have been possibly had I owned it. I would have had to think about it. Was Figure. I really like Figure. I'd sold cash secure puts. They didn't fill, so I can't give it. But it's very attractive too. But I think Air Test I probably would have given no matter what. That would have been a little bit more of a choice there. So enjoy. Merry Christmas.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Merry Christmas, Tevis. You've always been a good friend to me. I called you the other day. I said we should go, hang out sometime, go get something to eat. How long was that phone call? It was, over 10 minutes or something. It was a good chat.
Yeah. Also imaginary.
Not what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So before we go on, can I ask a quick question? Because I saw it in the comments. Steve, what was the ETF out of curiosity?
GPIQ.
GPIQ.
It's a Goldman Sachs hybrid income and capital appreciation ETF. It's actually doing really well.
Yeah.
But out of these individual names that you think that could be the best performer?
I think that GPIQ will do about 18% next year. We're giving them about 8 or 9% yield on the side.
Yeah, in a bear market, that would outperform probably what we have. They're giving for sure. Air.
Tevis.
So here's the problem, dude. You own 80% of my portfolio. I think there's only 3 names that we don't overlap on.
No.
And I'm pretty sure you own SoFi, you own Nebius, you own BMNR, you own Meta, you own Amazon, you own Robinhood.
So
you definitely don't own this piece of shit that I bought 100 shares of. I don't know if I want to give it to you now because I don't know if I want to be mean.
I'll sell HIMS right now. I won't even hold it, and then you can re-up on HIMS if you want.
Well, I do own HIMS and you don't, so HIMS could be the next thing. But since that was a thing last year, we'll cross out HIMS off the list. So that leaves.
No. You don't have to cross that out. No. I don't.
Yeah,
you didn't give it to me last year. It's fine.
That'll maybe be a second outperformer too.
So I do own Duolingo as well as Next, which I want to get rid of both. And then
I'd be fine with either of those names. I'd feel very comfortable if you gave me either one of those.
Yeah. Except I'm not going to give you either of those.
Okay. That's good.
The name that I'm going to give you, sir.
No, wait. Just really think about it.
He's having too much fun with it.
Oh man. A name in the comments,
Duolingo.
Orbs. Imagine if
Duolingo
Tevis
and-
gives Orbs.
Next could really outperform here, brother. If it's Orbs, if you're about to hand me Orbs, I'm going to flip my desk.
Hit him with it. I'll pay for it for you.
It's practically open AI, and you wanted to invest in that.
No.
So.
It's
not
much.
practically open.
Roy, it's much worse than that. And I bought this just for Tanner.
You didn't even know you were getting me.
Just in case. It was $100.
It's a $1 stock?
No, it's a $6 stock.
Okay, wait. I thought we had to hold $1,000 of a stock.
What?
Yeah, Steve, rewind the tapes.
The tapes
Steve,
were
$1,000?
I never said we have to a certain amount. I said you have to own the stock. I don't believe I ever said you have to have a certain amount.
Okay, you can give me this, but I'm going to dispute it next week if I find in the transcripts. So give me your regular pick, and then give me, if I dispute it, what would be the next pick? Go ahead.
Man, you can't dispute it.
No, because
Okay,
you don't own $1,000 of it.
If you dispute it, Tevis can either change it or he can add up to the $1,000.
No.
I will literally buy another $400 live on stream right now just to see you own $100 of it.
It's all.
What is it?
Well, no, Tanner has to own it, or I'll just give him something else.
What is it?
You can't even say it. I have no idea.
It might be the best performer.
It might be. It might be. The stock that I was going to give you was going to be Peloton.
Okay. Well, to be fair, I've not paid attention to it in like a year. So, yeah, I thought you might do something like Rivian, which would be like, well, maybe, yeah, it could. No.
Tevis, you know what we should do? Go online. Let's see how much we can buy a used Peloton for, and let's just buy one for Tanner also.
So here's a thought process. They have a new CEO. They're turning it around. They're doing a subscription model. Tanner is in health and wellness. He likes working out. And so I thought this is a perfect pick for Tanner.
Oh, no.
I know that they were like really close to profitability for a little while. Did that slip away from them?
I don't know, bro. It says PE loss. So, okay. I'm going to find out if I can dispute this, but yeah.
In all seriousness, Tanner, you may be able to, because the more I think about it, the $1,000 thing is ringing a bell somewhere. But we talk about a lot of stuff. You got 50% chance on this one. You may actually be able to dispute it.
So what it was, we had a discussion and we laid out a few possible rules, and we said basically whoever wins ends up gets to do the rule set, I believe.
Funny enough, I won.
I think it'll be. I got my boy on Bootleg Weekly, so Tevis, I'm on in your court.
Oh,
there.
look at that! I won.
And honestly, Peloton's not a terrible pick. It's not a good one, but
here, let me
Carvana can turn around.
Let me quote Tanner in December 2024. It's the one with the highest potential, highest upside. I'm here to win, man.
No, I think Next is gonna could have a much bigger potential there. I think Duolingo could do very well.
Too bad you didn't get those. 2026. I might get you those.
Yeah, I don't mind that gift though, Steve. QXO. I like it. So, and I like Jacobs. So
I bought a bunch of it. I think it's going to do very well.
We should do that. What's it called? Like the gift swap thing where you get to grab other people's presents.
White
elephant thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do that next year. That would actually be kind of fun.
I only know of it called Yankee Swap just because of The Office, but I don't actually know of anyone that calls it that.
Yeah.
Hey,
Nope.
Side note, did you guys know that staking on Robinhood, you get paid out twice a month?
There you go.
I didn't realize that. No.
I just bought more Ethereum and I popped up I can stake it.
Do you know they're only paying you 75% of what you're staking?
It's better than me getting 0% by not staking.
It's true. It's true. But you're in New York, right? You just like staking's new to you guys.
This is true.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Yep.
Yeah, maybe this is the year that Apple acquires Peloton.
Like that was what I was going to say with Peloton. Like it's been rumored as far as an acquisition target for a while, and I've not paid attention to it in like a year, so I don't know. But I think it's probably fairly limited downside. Like you could see where it went as far as like in those moments when the stock market was weak. So
everyone that I knew that used to do Peloton a lot has switched over to is it Zwift, something like that. And so I don't know anyone really that uses a Peloton anymore. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, you can buy a Peloton with your winnings after in 12 months.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'd need like a 30X or something. All right. Cool. Let's go ahead and talk about some SoFi, because Anthony Noto, the great and powerful, was on a Crypto in America podcast. During this podcast, he had cleared up some sort of speculations on SoFi, specifically SoFi USD, whether it was built on Solana, built on Ethereum. Solana actually came out and said, hey, SoFi is building on Solana. And then Noto clarified, well, we might be building multi-chain, but right now it's all on Ethereum. Aside from that, he also announced that, and I'll just play this clip, that they are getting into not small business banking, but big business banking. Let's have a look.
We have a technology platform that does about 8 billion transactions a year. It's leveraging wires, ACH, debit, credit. We'll introduce SoFi USD stablecoin as a form of payment there. Again, faster, cheaper, and safer. And then I think there's a huge opportunity to help large companies do settlement 24/7. Today, the card networks are not doing settlement on Saturday and Sundays. Many businesses are not. And SoFi USD could be used to make settlement on a 24/7 basis, and even doing it much more than once or twice a day. In addition to that, we're launching big business banking. SoFi USD will be a key component for all of the companies that want to operate in fiat and crypto to be able to do it in one bank. We have
big business banking. What's your first thoughts, Tevis?
Yeah, absolutely bullish. I like how deeply they're leaning into crypto with stablecoins, and he also went in depth in explaining their advantage there in the big business section, but also talked about the roadmap and expanding the white label aspect of stablecoins and how that could be bullish for SoFi going forward, to essentially have all of these other major financial institutions use their stablecoin going forward, as opposed to building their own native coin. So, I mean, look, they're looking for expansion, and this is something that we've been talking about even this year, right? Their big area that they expanded more than anything else was loan platform business, credit cards, you could argue. And next year, I think the big business banking side, the crypto side, could definitely be areas that they lean into.
Really quickly, I'm just seeing this come up on my feed 10 minutes ago. I just think this is hilarious. I've been looking in a lot on Coinbase, and I don't know if you guys know, but they had a breach of their funds a little while back, and Coinbase lost, I forget how many X millions of dollars, but they gave all their customers back, and they just took that as a hit. Instead of, just leaving it there, they ended up putting out bounties for anyone that knew any information about the people that ended up doing that. And Brian Armstrong just posted that if you try to steal from our customers, we'll work with law enforcement to find you and bring you to justice. One down, one to go. And just posts the dude's face.
Nice.
But yeah, so supposedly they are going after these people. And that's the great thing about crypto, right? It's all on blockchain. Like, you might be able to hide from the wallet for a little bit, but eventually, if you want to try to convert that over to fiat, it's actually quite hard to do.
Did you see that? And we can talk about this after, but Coinbase is getting into equities as well. That was also interesting this week.
And equity perpetuals. So they have both long and shorts immediately. So you can short equities on Coinbase before you could on SoFi, for example.
Crazy.
Roy, what was your thoughts on big business banking?
Oh, yes. It's really needed to fill out the ecosystem. And I think we were talking about this and saying makes sense as a near-term next product year and a half, 2 years ago. So a little bit later than I would like to see, but better late than never. And I mean, like, we're seeing the cadence definitely improve. So, them announcing this isn't just saying, oh, this is what we're going to do in like 5 years from now. Like, we may see this next year, which is really good. SoFi also, there might be a lot of reasons why they held off. It could just because of the back end, the tech stuff that they're working on. But also, they have the name recognition right now, that they've done a lot of marketing and advertising for that specific purpose. There's a lot more people using SoFi as their own personal bank. So when they actually do launch big business banking, it's going to do a lot better than it would have been even when we were talking about it a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Steve, this is what you've always asked for?
Well,
them getting into business banking?
Before I get into that, I am going to say what I said last night when Amin and I were live, that I don't understand why Noto went on that podcast and won't come on your channel. I think it's kind of crazy considering the reach that your channel has compared to theirs. And I think that Noto should do an interview with you. So I looked at their profile. All of us have bigger X profiles than them. And I looked at the view. When I looked at that podcast, it didn't even have 1,000 views. So it just doesn't make sense why. Look, and I'm not going to say me. I think that he should go on your channel, period. It's kind of crazy. But considering they probably aren't even long-term SoFi bulls compared to all of us, just saying. But
I also think that's part of the reason, though, Steve. It's like our audience is already very aware of SoFi. Our audience is, will follow SoFi regardless if they do or don't ever join any of these channels for an interview. Like, they're not going to capture any new audience. So I think part of it is connections. And then I think the other part of it is, okay, what areas can they sort of cross-pollinate audiences? And going on a crypto, space podcast is probably more beneficial than going on ours. And ours would be like a lot of fan service to the retail community, but they're not really going to get any new people like, oh, what is this SoFi company? I've never heard these guys talk about it before.
The one thing that I think about going on a podcast where someone does know the business very well is that, like, analysts would use that podcast to help their due diligence. Any extra additional information, including the one that was from the Crypto in America, like we did learn new things there. So, but if he went on Roy's channel, Tevis' channel, Steven's channel, we would ask him questions that would, I think, increase the transparency or what people are looking for whenever they look to invest in the company. So that would be only my critique. But in terms of like gaining new audience or like brand awareness, yeah, there wouldn't be any.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with him. I want Noto to go on a bunch of different podcasts. I'm just saying the fact that it seems like he won't go on Tanner's channel is a little crazy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but yeah.
Conservative. It's conservative.
I'm not the, I'm not wearing a suit. I'm not I'm not always watching what I'm saying. I might have had the wrong takes here and there. And for, the CEO of a bank to come on my podcast, it's like kind of amateur hour. So like, I do get it.
I mean, your views compared to theirs, not really amateur hour.
Yeah, because people don't want to watch just straight up business shows.
And at the end of the day, there are going to be new people finding it through your show. I just think you should do more across the board, period.
As for the business banking.
Yeah, look, I think it's a good segue into it. We want to see business banking across the board. We want to see wealth management. Look, you guys know my position. I want Liz Young to run wealth management. I want business banking across the board. I want SoFi to be a custodian of 401k and all retirement plans. I want them to get more active in ETFs and mutual funds so they can double dip and get asset fees and expense ratios. This is a step in the right direction, so I am fully supportive of it.
We also ended up hearing that they just rolled out SoFi USD. However, it's not really rolled out. I think the original thing, the claim was that it was coming out in 2026, but now they rolled it out now. But it's still only for internal use and like internal settlement activities. So do you guys think it's appropriate to say it's out now, or it's still coming out in 2026? Does it even matter? What do you think the upside is to these sort of products?
I think.
Oh, go ahead.
I think with it actually existing, like I would say it exists. It's rolled out, but it'll be expanded. But when they're trying to market this, perhaps to some that are looking to do their own crypto play, the white label product, for instance, they can point to it and say, "Hey, look, it exists. You can see the white paper. You can see the information here." And that may give a measure of comfort to those that are considering that. Now, when do we actually see this rolled out like it feels like it's been rolled out? That's it sounds like, I'm not 100% sure, but it sounds like regulation is clear enough that that's not what's hindering them. So I would guess that this is going to be rolled out very early next year.
It looks like, by the way, I'm looking at Tevis and Steve's eyes, that they are watching boxing. Look at the simultaneous smiles. So you guys are supporters of Netflix stock. Is that what I'm hearing?
It hasn't yet. So.
I'm a supporter of your beloved Robinhood because I used the prediction market.
Oh, what are the odds?
I'm looking at it as potentially making 14% on Anthony Joshua.
If just like them, honestly, I think the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight was faked. If Anthony Joshua ends up losing this fight, it is a rigged sport. Like, I don't know how to put it any other way. Like,
I mean, like, look, man, I don't like Jake Paul. I think he's super obnoxious, whatnot. But I also think he's in a lose-lose situation here. It's because he faced these sort of like bums that weren't boxers, and then he went on to face Tyson, who is like way too old, and he hasn't really faced any real opponents, and now he's stepping towards actually facing real opponents. He's becoming a real contender. But like, if he wins, everybody's going to say it's rigged. And if he loses,
go back and watch the Mike Tyson fight. I think it was round 2, and Mike Tyson really opens up, and then he realizes that he was hitting him really hard, and then after that, he stood still and didn't swing another punch. Like, I mean, yeah. I think he didn't realize how bad Jake Paul was going to be versus him. Like, there's levels to things, like Jake Paul versus me, I'd get dusty. He would beat up every single person that I know. But there is a gap between somebody who got into boxing in the last couple of years and someone that was born off the streets with family that does it, that was a world champion for multiple years. Like, there is a ladder to that. I just don't see how that works.
Look at it from this lens. Is Jake Paul a real boxer? Yes, he is. He's dedicated the past 8 years. He's in his prime. He's had the money to train correctly. There is no question about that. Can he be a pro boxer? Absolutely. Anthony Joshua is an Olympic gold medalist. You look at the people he's fought. He fought freaking Klitschko. Okay? Look at what he did to Francis Ngannou, who has a neck the size of Jake Paul's head. And that was last
strongest
year.
Puncher in history.
So WBO champion, IBF champion. If this guy is not 45 or 50. If he loses, tinfoil hat coming out. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Robinhood prediction markets are amazing. I should have never sold the stock. Should have bought it hand over fist.
Anderson Silva fought tonight?
Yeah, he knocked out Woodley.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Wait, he fought Tyron Woodley
Yeah.
in a boxing match,
Yeah, him with an uppercut.
but lost to Jake Paul.
Woodley fought Jake Paul, not Anderson Silva.
Who did?
Woodley lost to Jake Paul.
I thought Anderson Silva also fought Jake Paul.
If he did, I sure as hell didn't say it.
Yeah, Woodley's like 0-3 for boxing. It's crazy, man. Like I was just thinking about this. I was like, man, it's so wild that all these like 50-plus-year-olds are now just boxing casually. It's just we don't have. Yeah, maybe you can say Camilo, but you don't have like famous names in boxing. I feel like all that attention is to UFC now.
Yeah, he fought Anderson Silva and Tyron Woodley.
I did not see the Silva one.
Crazy.
Well, how are we feeling about SoFi? Tevis has a bet with Matt Money. It looked like Matty was gaining some ground on it. And then SoFi snapped back. We got 12 days left in the year. And Tevis, how you feeling? You feeling like you're going to win it?
I mean, yeah, but it's still anybody's bet. I mean, like 10% either way can swing it, right? Which is crazy because we made that bet when SoFi was like $12, and it's also funny because if we go back to our predictions this time last year, we're all going to be super freaking close. Like we were like 25, 27, 28, and it's actually right there. I did offer Matt a double or nothing for 45 for the end of 26. So you guys let me know how you feel about that, if that was a bad bet or not. But it would be $1,000 or nothing if I were to win. And it would be $45 by the end of 26. Not it hits it in 26. It has to close out the year above 45.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible. There's a lot of catalysts that are lined up. Harder to hold above because we don't know what the macro or anything will look like. But assuming macro is good, yeah, I think that's not an easy bet to make, but I would make that bet.
Especially considering you're playing with house money.
Yeah, that's
not
true.
Not much to lose. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely probably closer than the $25 bet. The $25 bet seemed like
crazy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, much easier to make. Because also we've been above 25 by that point. We've never been in the 40s. So it feels like uncharted territory. But then, S&P 500 inclusion, 4 more quarters that we're going to be able to see, new products that we enter, assuming that we end up getting a strong year as well, because that's the problem. It's a midterm. The second half of a midterm year is usually not great. So whenever you're talking about where it's going to finish out at, might not be super strong or in your favor in that case. But
so one of the things, or I guess there's 2 things that indicate to me that SoFi actually is perhaps going to be less conservative when it comes to their guidance for the year, which then informs their plans. We saw this equity raise, and it seemed like with Crystal Point's comments the day before that a lot of that was tied to additional lending. You would not do that in an environment where you're really concerned about the macro and consumers falling apart. The other is, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Liz Young, it was either earlier today or late last night. I saw the clip this morning. She was talking about the macro and what they're seeing from the consumers and everything. And usually, much like SoFi's internal guidance and things that they're looking at when they do their earnings in January, they look at over the course of the year, that's usually pretty bearish and cautious and not optimistic at all. And if Liz Young she sounded very bullish not quite Tom Lee bullish, but just about. It wouldn't surprise me if they're just like, hey, things are lining up and looking really well. We're going to be a lot more aggressive, both in product rollout, but also in terms of lending. So that could really, if they're right, that stock is going to do really, really well this year. So did you guys see Liz Young when she was breaking down the?
I did. And it's funny because she's very reserved. Throughout 2025, she never wanted to act as if we were in a bull market or say that we were going higher. She was extremely reserved. So for her to be on the side of bullish makes me excited for next year.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the segment, but it was something along embrace the bubble was like her thesis, which is interesting wording.
What are we on right now?
I don't even know how you could even argue that you're in a bubble right now, but like by any stretch in any sector, like
Not even
AI,
quantum?
sure, maybe quantum,
Okay, found
or like, yeah. Is Oklo still above 100, 130? What's Oklo at?
I think it re-broke that. I think we ended up 83.
It's at 83. That's wild.
It was 193 before.
Okay, here we can play this. This is if you guys are good for it. Bloomberg in its interview with Liz Young. Basically, Tanner, I was sharing how she sounds really optimistic, which is uncharacteristic. Chris LaPointe in that fireside chat right before the equity raise sounded like as well that they were. If that's the case, what they're seeing is also what we get. They have picked the right environment to accelerate lending into, and the stock can meaningfully go higher.
We're right now talking to Liz Thomas of SoFi, who wrote, there remains high anxiety about valuations and bubble-like characteristics, but our stance for 2026 is to befriend the bubble rather than bet against it. Sitting on the sidelines can be the greater risk. Liz joins us now. Liz, it's been too long. Great to see you.
Great to be here.
Thank you for being here. So why do you say it's the bigger risk to remain on the sidelines?
Well, if you just look at what markets have been dominated by, and this is not news to anybody, but we've got the tech sector and the Mag 7 making up almost 50% of the S&P 500. So you really can't be absent from that. And when you think about even what's gotten us to this point, it has been AI enthusiasm. Now we're seeing some really good signs of broadening out. We're seeing other sectors start to take part in this rally and carry their weight. But the reality is, in 2026, AI needs to continue its march forward. That doesn't mean that it needs to lead the entire market again, and all of those stocks need to carry their heavier weight. However, we do still need to see the potential in the future. We do still need to see productivity gains. We need to see earnings strength, and we need the fundamental strength that does exist to remain there. So it is important for investors to still be present in that theme.
So does it make you more confident in remaining overweight in some of these tech names, given the fact that we have seen some hiccups recently, that we have seen skepticism, pushback from the investor community about some of the financing plans from the likes of OpenAI and Oracle?
So we wrestled with this a lot, especially the word overweight, because if you're overweight, it means that you've got a lot. If you're just comparing it to the market, you've got a lot in tech stocks. So even just to be market weight is a big slug of your portfolio. I think market weight is probably the better way to look at it, which still ends up being a lot in tech stocks, communication stocks, basically the Mag 7 plus things like AMD, Broadcom, Oracle, and Palantir, which we're calling the Big 11 then collectively. So if you look at those, you're still going to have a pretty big slug in your portfolio. But into 2026, I think it's also important to make sure that you have exposure to the things that haven't really been a part of the conversation and could become a part of the AI conversation as productivity gains spread across other sectors. So places like healthcare, even materials, if we're looking at not necessarily AI productivity, but economic nationalism, not likely to go anywhere anytime soon. So sectors like materials can really benefit from that. And then consumer staples benefiting, hopefully, from some stimulus that's coming in the first half of the year.
All right.
I don't think it could be wrong, but I don't think Anthony Noto is going to come out during quarter four earnings and say, hey, we're guiding our assumptions based on massive unemployment, no rate cuts, anything like that. I doubt, I'm not expecting like insane optimism or anything like that. I just think it's going to be less muted than it was previously, and they're going to act accordingly.
It is weird that AMD, although being the size that it is, continues to make those lists. I forget what it was. What was the company that did the Magnificent 10? And if they were to expand the Mag 7 a couple more names, like AMD made that list, and a lot of analysts are starting to say that, even though they're much, much smaller, and there's many bigger names that should make the top list. But anyway.
Palantir made it too.
Yeah, there you go. But I think that probably should. Like, the market is valuing it at like essentially a $500 billion company. Like, it is bigger than AMD by a long shot. Do you guys think that's weird, by the way?
It
also,
is.
I don't know if you guys want to keep this for after hours or whatever, but like, did you guys see what happened from Micron? And then people want to still call the like AI trade a bubble. It's like every single component is seeing just way more demand than they ever could have expected. Like, EPS for next year ended up beating expectations by like 75%. Like, it was like one of the greatest beats that they've ever seen on Wall Street, especially in the tech sector, besides Nvidia. What is going on? Like, is everyone just a little overhyped about a sector, or are people justified in their hype because this is the greatest technological advancement ever, and so there's a ton of more money being poured in because it's real?
It just I don't
leading
know.
question.
I don't know specifically about Micron. I didn't follow their call or their report past the headlines. It just reminded me of that Oracle moment a couple of quarters ago when Oracle just jumped 40%. Like, I feel as though there's a couple of names that are just everybody knows is the AI trade. And then there's complete other names that have just been forgotten. And whenever they report these massive beats, they get insane jumps upwards because people just don't, for whatever reason, they'll buy one name and not the other, even though they play in the same vertical.
Yeah, so Micron was one of those kind of like SanDisk. SanDisk, is inducted in the S&P 500 recently, but hard drives experienced a massive boom just because of what's happening in the space, and also RAM, specifically or especially DRAM that's being stacked on these AI processors. So it seems like, just like you said, that once the market knows, oh, this name belongs in the basket of this AI wave, okay, we're going to give it a whole complete re-rating. By the way, I think that's what's going to happen with Air Test Systems and UTEVIS. They not only provide test solutions for the chipsets, but also for hard drives and also for memory as well. So it's just like everything that they're in, they're going to benefit. But it's such a small company. It's going to be violent up and down. This is, by the way, a lot different than the Oracle one, which most of that Oracle was due to revenue they had not received yet. And it was a little bit different way of looking at that number than, frankly, was industry standard. And so that's one of the reasons why Oracle retraced. Not the case with Micron. Massive, ridiculous growth that based on their guidance, and Micron tends to guide, close to where they're actually going. They're not overly optimistic. So yeah, they're. I expect that they'll probably hold on to their gains. This is one of those names where I mentioned, I think back in early October, I'm like, I need to pay more attention to Micron. A lot of it was because of what Gain Erickson, the Air Test Systems CEO, was saying. And then I started looking at what Jensen Huang was saying about this demand for validated stacks of DRAM, and they weren't getting the quality they need. I'm like, okay, something interesting is going to happen here. And it did. Congrats to shareholders.
Yeah, I mean, anything a part of the AI trade, Air Test Systems is going to do very well. Peloton, we're all going to do really well.
Peloton, for sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Tevis. Appreciate the gift.
Can't wait to see you buy it, buddy.
Sorry?
I cannot wait to see you buy it.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna see if you have $1,000 in it, and then
next year we can reset.
No. I'm gonna go back and see. I'm gonna go back and see the transcript, and then you can decide if you want to give me, what is it, hymns what else next? And then what's the third thing that you have that I don't own?
Lemonade.
Duolingo.
No, I'm not going to give him lemonade. I already that was my 2025 gift. So
Okay.
go look at the transcript, and then I'll send you a screenshot of $1,000 worth of Peloton, and still make you buy it.
But like, what's a company that you really like, Tevis? Like Hims?
No, I'm actually thinking of like reducing my position even further and possibly getting out altogether. But
okay, what's a name that like maybe I don't cover? I don't want to have bias, but like that you really like, that's like fundamentally strong
in my portfolio that I own,
or that you know of. Like give me a name. I don't want to be biased and set you up.
In what context? Like for the gift? Or
No. I'm just going to show you something about Micron, but I need another company to compare it to. Fundamentally strong business, like what you said, is that there were names that people sort of forget about, but all along were doing well. I want to show you something, but give me a fundamentally strong company.
NVIDIA.
Yeah, I mean, Nebius has been sold off quite heavily, and it's fundamentally, I mean, it's not profitable, but
we can try Nebius. They might not have enough. Yeah, it doesn't really look good just because they're
throw Meta in there. That's something I've been buying.
Meta. Okay, that's a good one.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. Usually, whenever I'm looking at companies, you can look at earnings revisions and see how Wall Street has reacted over time to those names. So, for example, in orange here is...
Tanner, I don't mean to cut you off. Why do you have Analyst Center on your Seeking Alpha?
I don't know. I don't even know what that is.
Okay. Just wondering.
Okay. So for 2025, what you can see here is that back in the day, they expected them to do $13.75 of EPS. And then over time, as Meta had outperformed those expectations, it raised up to $28. Right, Tevis? Now, this is usually what you'd see from like an extremely fundamentally strong business. And then that recent sell-off you can see is also being attributed here from this recent dip in expectations, right? Usually companies' earnings correlate with their stock prices. So you see a little drop off here, and that also is correlated with the stock, that people are expecting less earnings, so the stock should fall. Same with revenue. Meta is expected to be a bigger and bigger company, so revenue rises over time. I'm now going to go to Micron.
This is fun.
And show you what theirs looks like. It was such an explosion on earnings. This is their EPS, and this is their revenue.
Jeez, that's crazy.
And whenever you look at how this has changed over time, like pick any of them. In the last month, 2026 expectations raised by 86%, 27, 82, 28, 72. Over the last 6 months, we've raised by 163%, 175%, 180% for Micron for 2028 over the last 6 months. This is not a name that people have forgotten about. It's like we're fundamentally looking at it differently. Also, I don't know who's in a hospital. I keep hearing like beeps. Am I going crazy?
No, that's my printer. I'll mute.
Okay.
Did you hear about this whole
rate monitor
printer excursion?
What?
Did you hear about Tevis's printer excursion?
Yeah. I watched the videos, Tevis. Aside from the one where he can charge his phone on the side of his monitor, everything else was pure junk. It looks like trash.
No, you're wrong.
I want to have a plastic garbage bin that's
you're wrong.
Have flimsy magnets that's stuck to my desk. No, thank you.
Just admit you're wrong. It's fine.
The bristles are made of plastic. He's going to press that down one time. They're all going to snap.
So before we go to after hours, I know we're about at that time, but just real quick, Tanner, I know your thoughts already, you know mine, but I'm curious, Steve and Tevis, because I saw you guys watched it. What do you think of the Robinhood event, the predictions and AI event?
I just think
go ahead, Thomas.
I just think it's funny how they have to rename everything to make it more serious. It's like combos, like just say parlays, dude. You know,
No, they can't, because then it would be gambling.
we're making contracts. It's like, really, contracts, combos.
These words are deliberate.
I know, but like it's so, I don't know, man. I don't know how this is going to be allowed. Like, how are we not going to find ourselves in a legal situation in 2026 where
Can I tell you why?
please, yeah.
Okay. Because Trump likes it. The radical woke left keeps trying to ruin America's predictor markets. Predictor markets are not gambling. If I wanted to gamble, I'd go to lefty Las Vegas. Prediction markets are American to American friendly wagers with a guaranteed outcome. They drive Americans to learn more about the real world instead of the woke agenda. American prediction markets will revolutionize voting, policy, and anyone who disagrees, I predict, is a traitor.
Bro, is that a real tweet? What the hell?
Yeah. It's on Truth Social, yeah.
All right.
But I do think that
it's crazy.
I do think that prediction markets did him a massive favor in the election. Like, a bunch of people said that he was not getting in, and prediction markets were saying the entire time that he was the one that was.
You mean predictor markets?
Predictor markets, yeah. That he was saying that he was getting in. You know, I think that prediction markets have a lot of good to them. But then whenever you're like, oh, well, you can do prop bets on individual players, like there's no benefit there. Like it's for, and you're betting money and the house takes a cut for it's just for gambling purposes. Of course, it's different than a lottery ticket. You can advantage yourself, like increase your odds. But I mean, you could increase your odds in blackjack or something like this as well. It doesn't,
Dude,
change the fact that it's gambling.
Just put on a spread trade, short DraftKings, long hood, and that's going to be your spread trade for the next 2 years. Because, it's a superior product offering, and if it has regulatory backing, then I don't see a way where the gambling apps right now are not forced to adapt to survive and retain their business. Like, they will absolutely be forced to. The moment that Robinhood enters Canada, as an example, because right here we don't have it, the moment that they enter Canada, okay, that's where I'm going to put all of my combos instead of my parlays currently at DraftKings. It's just a superior product offering.
Yep. Yeah, by the way, I'm not even anti them. I keep having to clarify, just because I think a certain way that of what they should be called or how they should be classified doesn't change the way that I think that they should be offered on Robinhood or Wealth Simple or whatever. But do you guys want to wrap there? Or yeah. Steve, Roy, do you guys want to add anything to that?
No, I mean, we already shared my opinion with Unimit, and it's, I don't know that it needed to be a live event, but it's a massive growth wave. They were very careful in the way that they worded some things. I'm honestly more excited about Cortex just because I'll use that a lot versus the predictions market. But yeah,
well, their prediction market's going to be huge. DraftKings is, I got to tell you, I hate using the word cooked, but I think they're cooked. And the reason is they've only been profitable one quarter in the past 12 quarters, maybe longer. This is a company that does not make money. This is a company that's operating expenses outstrip everything. I mean, when you look at their income statement, their cost of revenue is not bad. In Q3, it was only $328 million. And they did $1.14 billion in revenue, but their operating expenses were $1.1 billion. They're spending just on general expenses $517 million. This is a company that has to continue to fuel the base with promotions in order to gain customers. And prediction markets are being embedded in the UFC Jumbotron. They're going to be embedded in the NFL, most likely, in hockey and basketball. And they're actually more exciting to use for sports betting. And they're going to be in everything, weather, economics, earnings reports, probably. So I think Robinhood is going to gain tremendous momentum on it. And look, it's a company that continues to fire on all cylinders. I would not go near DraftKings right now unless they figure out a way to actually become profitable and keep people on the system, or...
Well, they are adapting prediction markets pretty quickly, which is also funny to say that it's not a gambling thing, but all the gambling sites are quickly acquiring and creating their own prediction markets.
Right, but here's the thing. If they
like
acquire prediction markets, it freaking cannibalizes their entire business.
No. So they don't overlap at all, because right now they're only putting in prediction markets in the states that they don't operate. So that's currently how it's being, like.
Yeah, but the prediction markets, like it's a moot point. So first of all, it's like traditional ICE moving into EVs. It's just a lower margin product that they're gonna get themselves out of the market. Essentially, they won't be able to compete. It's a war of attrition, and they're doing prediction markets in states where they're not allowed to be in, but other prediction markets are going to be in those states anyways. So they're going to be competing with Robinhood on prediction markets. I think the moment that you'll know to go short DraftKings, Steve, is when they lose some of those NFL rights. Because right now, every time I tune into a game, I see, that Minty Bets chick putting on her DraftKings bet. I see all of the commercials. I see the sportscasters on the NBA putting on their bets, all sponsored by DraftKings.
Yeah, that's the key word, sponsored by DraftKings.
Exactly. Once that becomes sponsored by Polymarket or Kalshi or whoever, then DraftKings is toast. Because I think that publicity, just them being front and center of every sporting event, sponsored by DraftKings this, sponsored by DraftKings that, is still keeping them in the game. But it's only a matter of time, in my opinion.
What's really interesting.
I'm going to give you another angle of it that people don't consider unless you actually know about gambling. Most people who gamble, okay, take this with a grain of salt. DraftKings does not have rewards the way that MGM or Caesars do. So for people who actually go to the casino and gamble a lot, they're going to use whatever the sports book is that's going to allow them to continue to earn comps. And they're not going to use DraftKings. And that's a substantial amount of the market when you think about real gamblers. So DraftKings is behind the eight ball on so many levels that if they couldn't get to profitability by now, and I thought that their member growth was very interesting and that they were going to turn the corner, and then prediction markets came out, and I think it completely destroyed them.
Yeah. For the after hours, what do you guys want to talk about? I kind of want to give you guys a little spiel on crypto and Coinbase. I want to talk
more
about
Ethereum during the show.
During the show?
Yeah.
You were talking too much about not buying anything today, and you thought I can't go to bed without making a purchase.
Well, I was really busy during the day, so I couldn't buy anything, but I did want to buy more Ethereum under 3,000.
I also sent the link. Oh, go ahead.
Jason wants us to talk Rivian in the after hours.
We can talk. I would love to hear about Rivian.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send out the members only live stream. So now we have a live stream now for the members only section. Steve is going to remember to set it up correctly and set it to members only.
Which episode is this?
24. 24.
Where do I have to do the setting?
Steve, when you're setting it up in StreamYard, there's an option there to do unlisted. So make sure you do that when you set up the StreamYard stream.
Gotcha.
And then you go into your YouTube, and then you can switch it when we go live.
Okay.
Correctamundo. Yeah, I saw this funny like thing online. It's like whenever you see somebody that makes 3 times as much as you, but doesn't know how to download a PDF, that is Steve. that is Steve. Steve is he's still learning the computer. It's never too late, ladies and gentlemen. 2026, you could still learn how to use a computer, but you can also be a mega million while you do it. All right. Are we all set up?
Let me click on the
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Hold on,
ladies
a
and
second.
gentlemen. Wait, you're good? Yes, no, maybe so.
So maybe Tanner
Let me
explain to people how they can see it. So if you are a member, we're putting the links in the chat right now, and we're going to continue the live stream there. And it will be live. It will be locked to members. And anything else? How can you join, Tanner?
If you're already subscribed, there is a join button down below. I always do that. I can't help it. My arms do it on without me even thinking about it. It says live in 12 hours. Well, don't worry. It will be live right after this. If it says live in 12 hours, that's my mistake. No, it'll be live right now. Okay. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.
Thanks, everybody.